Here we go. 6 people have now been charged in that brutal beatdown in Cincinnati. You're looking at it. That happened over the weekend. Only 3 have been arrested so far, and the number of victims is ticking up. There are now, they say, 6 victims, 5 men, 1 woman. The mayor returned from his week-long vacation and spoke for the first time since the attack, but not to the victims.
I have not.
Anyone here had a conversation with the victims, reached out, and how are they doing?
So I personally have not spoken with the victims.
Why wouldn't you speak to the victims? Here with reaction is Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt. Eric, 6 victims, brutal beatdown. This getting worse. National story now. You got city leaders, including the police chief, haven't spoke to the victims. What does that tell you?
Well, first of all, this is a brutal attack. And when you see that as a former prosecutor, as a former attorney general, that attack and that level of violence must be met with swift and severe prosecutions. And you've already seen one already released on like $400 worth of bail. And I think a couple more are still at large. So that's its own problem. But I think the reaction from these city leaders that they can't be bothered with it. They don't want to reach out to the victims. They're acting like it's somebody else's fault. They're blaming the victims. I think I heard a comment from a city councilwoman just the other day saying that too. It's just the wrong approach. And it's indicative of this soft on crime approach that a lot of blue cities have had. And the only way it's ever going to change and the only way you're going to curb that violence are real prosecutions. And this is an important time to go do that in Cincinnati.
So I want to read you this post to show you the lack of empathy and I think a numbskullness, if that is indeed a term. Trina Thompson, why don't we just pop it up right now, if we could take a look, and I could read it. The post from the councilman essentially said, the victim, Victoria Park says, you're in the city council, you make a statement like that. They begged for this beatdown. I am grateful for this whole story. And she didn't back off that statement.
No, the real problem, honestly, with a lot of these radicals who, hold office in these blue cities is they just have a backwards idea of who the real victims are. Justice means this whole idea of social justice never really applies to an individual. These individuals who were brutally attacked deserve justice of their own. They deserve the prosecution of grown men who punched this woman in the face, and she's still recovering from that. And so they never really want to talk about the individual justice that's necessary to make these victims whole, or at least show to the general public that you're not going to tolerate this kind of violent crime. Everybody deserves to feel safe. And this kind of attitude, I think, is indicative of this sort of defund the police leftist crowd that has been elected in a lot of these major cities.
Do you think race plays a role?
I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty insensitive. We'd certainly see wall-to-wall coverage on other networks, I think, if roles were reversed. But for me, as a former prosecutor, it doesn't matter the race of an individual that's been victimized like this. You have to go after the perpetrators, and you have to send a message.
I hear you. Senator, now to this. I want to turn to more radical judge news. U.S. District Judge Trina Thompson is blocking the administration from ending deportation protections under the Biden administration for more than 63,000 immigrants. They get to stay if you're from Nicaragua, communist country, Honduras, chaos, Nepal. The Biden appointee writing this: the freedom to live fearlessly, the opportunity of liberty, and the American dream that is all plaintiffs seek. Instead, they are told to atone for their race, leave because of their names, and purify their blood, and the court disagrees. Color is neither a poison nor a crime. So they make an accusation, and then all of a sudden they're going with their own conclusion. I guess they want people to apologize for their own thoughts.
Well, this is a radical judge that not only is defying the president's will, Secretary Noem's will, the law, and now the Supreme Court. It's important, Brian, to point out the Supreme Court had a case just like this just a few weeks ago and said that the president is well within his rights to end the temporary protected status of these people and have them deported. So the judge is defying the law. This district court judge is going to be overturned. Her order will be stayed in a matter of days, I assume. But it's indicative of how radical they've become and how President Trump has to stay the course on this mass migration. The law is on his side. He's going to meet his mandate from the people.
Senator, very simple. You compare people getting special protective status to other people waiting in line, paying their fees, hoping to get the status the legal way. And every administration has a right to do exactly that. Hopefully these judges realize that.
That's
Senator,
right.
thanks
Brian,
so much.
Yep. There were 1 million people
Yeah.
Joe Biden let in through this process. It was abused, and now it's time to fix it.
Absolutely. One judge at a time. You got to beat each one of them, I guess.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.